Hello students, in the previous class we read chapter number 1 from the book Hornbill, The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. And in this chapter we actually read that Khushwant Singh was having a very nice and friendly relationship with his grandmother, and grandmother was taking care of him a lot, and he was taken to school. She was accompanying him everywhere, and they were carrying a lot of stale chapatis to be given to the street dogs. Then she was praying, or she was doing a lot of religious work in the temple while he was studying in the school. And then she was coming back with Khushwant Singh to their home back. So after some days, they were called by the parents of Khushwant Singh, because the parents they were living in city, and Khushwant Singh and his grandmother, they both were, you can say, staying back in the village. And after some days, they were summoned by the parents, and Khushwant Singh and his grandmother, they both went to live in the city with the parents. And after going to city, she was not happy at all. Why? Because there are so many reasons why she was unhappy and sad and disappointed, because she was actually not able to see street dogs there, and she was not able to feed them. And at the same time, she could not accompany Khushwant Singh to school, because he started going in a school bus, and that is why he was not accompanied by grandmother. And at the same time, she was pretty unhappy to know or to notice that a lot of different kind of things which were being taught in the school, and these things are not liked by Khushwant Singh's grandmother at all. Like, they were being given music lessons in the school, and a lot of English subjects were being taught, and science subjects were being taught, and nothing about God and scriptures and holy books, they were not being taught in the school. So she was not happy at all. Now I am going to continue with page number 5 from the book, and we had read the first paragraph. Now I am going to continue with the second paragraph, that is, when I went up to university. When I went up to university, I was given a room of given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. This word is very important, because snapped here means it was broken. Means the basic link, the common link of friendship was that they were, before that, they were actually sharing the same room. But after, when he went to university, when he joined university, he was given a separate room, and he was separated totally from the grandmother, and they actually were not able to see each other a lot now. So that common link of friendship, that is their room which they were sharing, it was snapped means it was broken totally. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Please underline this word, seclusion. Seclusion here means loneliness. There is another word, that is resignation. Please underline this word. And resignation here means submission. So what actually happened? His grandmother accepted her seclusion, means she accepted her loneliness with resignation, means with submission. She did not, you can say, argued. She did not say anything, and very silently she accepted her loneliness. And she rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone, because now she actually was a lot of showing a lot of dependence on spinning the wheel, and she was spending a lot of time spinning the wheel only, and she was not ready to talk to anyone after that. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel, spinning and reciting prayers. So now she was spending a lot of time. From sunrise to sunset, she would sit by the wheel and spin it, and at the same time she was spending a lot of time by reciting the prayers. Reciting here means she was chanting, she was doing a lot of religious prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while. to feed the sparrows. But for half an hour or so in the afternoon, she would go to the veranda and she would feed the sparrows. Because why she started feeding the sparrows? Because there were no dogs to be found in the city. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirping. This is to be noticed that what is the meaning of this expression, a veritable bedlam of chirping. What is the meaning of this expression? That when she would go into the veranda and she would start spreading, or she would start feeding the sparrows, at that time a lot of noise, a lot of great noise would be created by the chirpings of the birds. So birds would come in large number, in thousands, in hundreds. They would come and they would start chirping in the veranda, and that chirping is actually called here as bedlam. Bedlam here means a great noise, means she would really become mad for some time because of the chirpings of the birds. There is another word, veritable. Veritable here means real. So real noise would be created by the chirpings of the birds. Some came and perched on her legs. Perched here means sit. Some perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. Again, an important word. Shooed means she never dragged them away. She never tried to shoo, or never tried to, you can say, get them side or drive them away. It used to be the happiest half an hour of the day for her. This is very important. This half an hour when she was feeding the sparrows, this was the best time of her day. Means she enjoyed a lot when she was feeding the sparrows. Otherwise, she was very sad and disappointed after coming to the city. Next paragraph. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell. What is the meaning of this line? And at her age, one could never tell. It means that actually what happened after, you can say, completing his education from the university, he was given a chance to go to abroad, and he wanted to go for further studies, to study to abroad, to some other foreign country. At that time, he says, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. She was really upset. He was actually the only friend of Khushwant Singh's grandmother. And that is why she never wanted him to go anywhere. But she could not keep him away from, you can say, studies. And she was not able to convince him not to go anywhere, and he had to go. So I would be away for she knew that the boy, means the grandchild, he was going for 5 years to abroad, and at her age one could never tell, means that at her age nobody could tell that when he would come back after 5 years she would be alive or not, because she could die in between, because 5 years was a long span and anybody could die. And at her age, nobody would expect her to be alive after 5 years. But my grandmother could. What is the meaning of this line? That when he actually came back, grandmother was still alive after 5 years. She was not even sentimental. This is very important. He wanted to tell us that she was a very strong charactered lady. Her character was really strong and stern, and she was very strict. And she was not sentimental. She was a very practical lady. And she was not showing any kind of emotions when he was going away. So she came to leave me at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Now, what she was doing, she was not showing her emotions at all at that time. When she actually went to see him off at the railway station, she did not show any kind of weakness. She was not crying, she was not weeping, she was not showing her, you can say, upset, you can say, that sad face to the grandchild. And her fingers were, she was always doing the same thing. She was busy with telling the beads. What is the meaning of this line? Telling the beads here means that she was actually trying to continue her prayers, जिसको हम माला जपना बोलते हैं. So she was telling the beads, she was counting the beads of her rosary. Rosary here means mala. So she was actually counting the beads at that time. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the most moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. And at last she actually kissed him on his forehead, and after that he thought that this was their last physical contact, because he never hoped, he never thought that he would be able to see her alive after 5 years. And then he went away to study abroad. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. But even after 5 years, she continuously was alive. She was alive unexpectedly, and she was there to, you can say, at his arrival, when he actually reached at the station, she was there to take him. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me means when she actually hugged him in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. Even after 5 years, when he came back, they actually hugged each other, and at that time also he heard that, you can say, very silent prayer that was being done by the grandmother. Grandmother was still reciting, she was still busy with her prayers, which were very silent. Nobody could hear it, but her lips were always moving in these silent reciting or silent prayers. Even on the day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes. Again, a very important phrase, frivolous rebukes. Frivolous here means, write it down in your books, not serious, very, you can say, casual, not serious. Rebukes here means chiding. Chiding means rebuking or maybe scolding. So he says that even when he came back after 5 years, she was happy only at that time when she was enjoying feeding the sparrows. And she started giving some frivolous rebukes, मतलब थोड़ा बहुत हल्के दिल से she was actually rebuking and scolding and chiding these sparrows. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. Now, this is very unusual in her life, and he had never seen it. He had noticed it for the first time in his life, that his grandmother stopped chanting. His grandmother was not doing or offering any prayer to God, and she actually was doing something else. She stopped praying. This was unusual for him. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. Now what she actually wanted to do, she wanted to enjoy, she wanted to celebrate that evening. Why? Because her grandson, after 5 years of long span, he had come back from abroad. So she wanted to enjoy this moment. She wanted to celebrate his homecoming or his arrival. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skin. Please underline this word, sagging. Sagging here means hanging down. So she actually wanted that the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. So what she did, she actually for several hours, continuously for so many hours, she was, you can say, thumping, she was pounding, she was trying to thump the hanging skin of the dilapidated drum. Dilapidated here means old, torn and worn. एक फटा पुराना ढोल लिया उसने, and she started thumping that drum. For several hours, she did this. and sang of the homecoming of warriors. And she was singing some of the songs which were to be sung for warriors when they would come home after the war. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. Now, Khushwant Singh and his parents, they actually went to the Dadima, to the grandmother, and they were actually trying to persuade. Persuade here means convince. They were trying to convince her that this is actually not good for her to overstrain herself, because she was trying to overexhaust. She was doing a lot of hard work by thumping that dilapidated or old drum. So she should not overexhaust herself because it would be bad for her health. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. And this was the first time in Khushwant Singh's life when he noticed that the grandmother was not praying. Otherwise, she was always busy with her prayers. The next morning, she was taken ill. What is the meaning of this line? The next morning, she was taken ill here means that she actually fell ill. She was really not fine the next morning. And her, you can say, health was not fine. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. It would go here means the doctor actually told that it was a mild, and you can say nothing serious, and she would be fine the next day. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. It means that she actually understood that something was wrong, or maybe she was going to die. She understood it. She actually had seen that, you can say, this is going to be her last breath. So she told the parents and the other people that her end was near, and she said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray, she was not going to waste any more time talking to us. This word is again very important, omitted. Omitted here means stopped. So she told the parents and Khushwant Singh. Grandmother said that because she had stopped praying for so many hours last evening, that is why she wanted to make up. Make up का मतलब है भरपाई करना चाहती है, because she had spent a lot of time in celebrating Khushwant Singh's homecoming, and she had actually spent a lot of time in doing all these things. Now she wanted to make up for that time, and that is why she did not want to talk to anybody, and she wanted to go for her prayers. She wanted to continue her prayers. We protested. What is the meaning of this line? We protested here means that all the family members, they protested. They actually said that this is wrong for her and she should not continue her prayers now, and because her health was not fine, so because she was ill, she should take some rest. And they protested, but she ignored our protests. But she did not hear. She was not ready to listen to the advices given by the other family members, and she lay peacefully in bed praying and telling her beads. She actually was not able to sit properly, so she laid herself on the bed and she started telling the beads of her rosary, and she started praying. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. What is the meaning of this word? That what actually happened? After some time, they noticed that her lips were not moving. They stopped moving, and at the same time, she was not able to control or hold her rosary in her hands, and it actually fell on the floor. And then a peaceful pallor, please underline this word pallor. Pallor here means fading of color. She became lifeless, and this was to be seen everywhere, means they noticed that she was already dead. We lifted her off the bed and is customary, laid her on the ground. Customary here means as was their custom, as per the ritual, रिवाज के अनुसार, she was actually taken off the bed. From the bed, they actually laid the body on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud here means a kind of, you can say, cloth that would be strewn, or that would spread over the body of a dead, so over a dead body. So a cloth. After a few hours of mourning, what is the meaning of this word mourning here? Mourning here means to show your grief, to express your grief. So after a few hours of mourning means all the people, they showed their grief, they cried on the death of the grandmother. Then we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. Funeral means the death ceremony. So all the people, they went out of the house to, you can say, arrange to for the arrangements for the funeral, and they came back after some time. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. And after some time, they went back to the room and they had a crude. What is the meaning of crude here? A very raw, a very roughly made stretcher was taken to her, and she was taken, you can say, she was carried on this crude stretcher, and then she would be taken to the cremated ground where she would be cremated, or maybe for her funeral. All these arrangements were done by the parents of Khushwant Singh. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. It was evening, and the golden light from the sun, it actually entered the room of the grandmother, and a lot of golden light is to be seen inside the room. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. Means they were actually now carrying the dead body of the grandmother, and they were going to the cremation ground. The sun We stopped halfway in the courtyard, all over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay and stiff wrapped in her shroud, in her red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Means, when they actually went out of the room, out of the house, and they were going through the courtyard, at that time they noticed, these people noticed that thousands of sparrows, they actually came and they sat on the ground in the courtyard, and they were waiting for the grandmother. Maybe there was no chirping, but that day they were not chirping. This is actually in comparison to the time which was, you can say, enjoyed by the grandmother. Whenever grandmother was giving some crumbs or pieces of bread to these sparrows, they were making a lot of bedlam, they were creating a lot of bad noise, they were chirping a lot, they were actually creating a kind of madhouse, you can say, there. But that day they were silent, they were not chirping. It is as if they had come to show their grief. They actually wanted to express their sorrow on the death of the grandmother. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them, because these people, they thought that all these sparrows, they had come to get fed. So they thought that these sparrows would be hungry. So mother of Khushwant Singh, she went inside the house, and from the kitchen she brought some bread pieces. She broke it into little crumbs. Crumbs here means small pieces. So she broke those bread pieces into crumbs, that the way my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. And she actually tried to give all these bread crumbs to the sparrows. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, what is the meaning of this word corpse? Corpse here means dead body of a human being. So this is very important, that these crumbs, these bread pieces were thrown to these sparrows, but they took no notice of the bread. They were not interested in eating, because they had not come to eat anything. They had not come to get fed. When we carried my grandmother's dead body or corpse off, they flew away quietly. When the dead body was taken to the cremation ground, out of the house, from the courtyard, all these sparrows also flew away in the air without chirping. They were very silent. And next morning the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin, and next morning the sweeper had come and he had to sweep away all the breadcrumbs into the dustbin, because no piece of bread, no breadcrumbs were taken by the sparrows, because they were actually there, they had come, they actually had no intention to get fed, but they wanted to show their grief, they had wanted to show their sorrow on the death of the grandmother. So with this line we are going to finish the chapter number 1 from our book, and in the next lesson, in the next class, we are going to discuss some of the questions. Till then, thank you very much, and keep listening all these videos, and at the same time read this chapter thoroughly. Thank you.